Hey, yo, like the video, man. Alright, and by the time of this video today, I'm gonna be telling y'all about how it's really up to you to get to where you want to get in life. Because to be real, it is a hard pill to swallow. Like, really. Because in this day in society, a lot of us, we want to pursue these dreams, we want to pursue these goals that at the given time may seem damn near impossible. Like, we know it's possible, but we're also very aware that it will take a lot of work, it will take a lot of endurance. And you know, there's also some people who don't even think of it to that extent. So people will know that it's hard, but they won't be willing to make the sacrifices necessary to make it happen. Sometimes people will try, they'll do a little bit of something, be like, it's too much work, I need this, I need that, I need a third. And in some cases, it really is just about just starting. Like, you really just have to go and do what you need to do, at least on a surface level. There is a certain level of being strategic, planning out your goals, and, you know, doing research. Like, really just know what you're doing in order to become successful at what you do, especially if it's something where you make a product, you do a service for someone, or you create something. Like, more so in that area, like, it will take a lot, you know, building something in any way, shape, or form that you would like to take that. There's a lot of work, there's a lot of things that you need to do in order to get to that place. Now, as far as career, at least speaking for myself personally, like, I love to draw, you know what I'm saying? I love to draw, I love art. I would basically consider myself a creative storyteller. So I feel like right now I don't fully know what it take to get to that field, because my field, a field like that, isn't determined. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times, you know, people can say what they want about, you know, you got to go to college, you got to get a degree and everything. And that's good, you know, it's good. You know, you can get a lot of money depending on your degrees. It's just, I guess I've gotten to this state where it's like, I'm not fully saying that I'm dropping college. I'm completely unsure. I made a testimony about all the things that I will try to accomplish this year. This month of January has been a little iffy. Not entirely, because the whole time I still have been strategizing things. I still have been like setting up the playing field. But honestly, I would say at this point, the next like 2 to 3 checks should get myself in a place where I'm just fully going through with the plan and not looking back from that point forward. Because there was a lot of things that thwarted the plan along the way. Like, it'll be simple things, just not enough food intake. I don't want to risk so much into this, because if I risk it and then a weird emergency happens, then that's gonna be like, it's gonna backfire on me. It's a lot of things, but I feel like I'm at this place where, like, I just realized, like, you really do need to do what's necessary. Sometimes it's gonna take bad moments. Sometimes it's gonna take things not going in your way. You know, you probably getting sick of like your 9-to-5 job, you getting confused about school and be like, hey, is it really for me and stuff? With the school thing, I don't really want to talk too much about that. I mean, I might eventually make a video, but it depends on how things go, because I don't want to just say like, oh, I'm dropping out, and then, like, you know, I don't do it and I go back. Like, ain't no point in doing that. But pretty much all I know is for this year, I have very specific goals, very specific as far as like, where do I see myself in like every month, every couple 3 months. So pretty much each quarter of the year. Where am I at financially, physically, mentally, you know what I'm saying? And just to keep myself accountable with all the things I do. I already knew off rip the first 3 months are going to be iffy. I could be lenient on myself due to me lacking the resources I need to make this whole plan come in full circle. And people could think, oh yeah, you're making excuses. Not necessarily. I did an attempt to create a routine. I went all out my way to go on the alarm settings on my phone or whatever, and I set up different hours, every couple hours, every 2 hours, every hour, to do a specific task every single day, depending on the schedule I had, because, you know, I still worked, or maybe I had to bring my sibling to school or something. So based on what I had to deal with, anytime outside of that to do different tasks. So there's never really a day where I'm just sitting down and just chilling all day, you know what I'm saying? Because when you actually take the time to like really just wake up early, like wake up at like 7 8 a.m., you realize you have a lot of time in the day. Like there's a lot you can do, and you can't really be wasting it just sitting around doing something, hanging out with other people, making them decide and make up what your day is gonna be. And then, you know, sometimes that's fun. It depends on, like, you know, what stage of life you're in, you know what I'm saying? When I was like 19 20, like I was cool with just being out all the time. Like people had plans, I'm like, hey, I'm there, like just call me, just be like, yo, you want to go to the beach, you want to go this place, you want to go eat place, like I was always down, you know, especially when I had my car. But now it's just like, especially for me going for the career that I'm trying to go for, there's not really a straightforward way. I've thought very hard on how it can work, and I think I'm more or less have figured out what it's gonna take, but it's gonna be hard. It's gonna take a lot of sacrifices, and I think that's the thing that just weighs on my chest like so heavily. Because I'm gonna be real, I don't have like a lot of friends that hit me up at this point. Matter of fact, even my own true best friends or childhood friends, we don't really even talk as much as we used to. It's weird because like there's no bad blood lost, and it's like I don't mind talking to these people like every single day, but it's just we don't talk. And I remember even when it came to like other friends I had in high school, or even females I was trying to get with back then, and I used to think like, damn, like, why don't we talk like that? Whole time, you know, getting to this stage, realizing all them times when people would give you those excuses about being busy and all that, they was just stacking their bread up. They was just figuring out life. They was out here planning what their next car is, their next house is, and they was serious. Like they was real deal serious about this shit. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people feel like they'll do things in accordance to you, like, or accordance to them, like what they got going on. So, you know, when they can find that time, that area of space, like they can allow it for you, but they will not under any circumstances allow you to justify their day. And I feel like that's one of my biggest problems, is like a lot of times I know what I'm going to do through the day. I know what I'm trying to achieve. I know what my milestones is for each month. And then somebody calls me and I end up on the phone for a couple hours. I end up hanging out, doing something. And then the whole time I'm just thinking like, man, like I could have been like making a YouTube video. I could have been editing. I could have been doing this to make more money. I could have been researching that. I could have been working out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, originally it didn't feel like that. But now me realizing how much more I can do with my time, it's like, it feels like it really can't be wasted. And a lot of people are in different stages of life. I understand that when it comes to maturing. Everyone matures in different phases. Like even like me looking at my friends, it's like I feel like they're even maturing at different phases. Like phases where I was at, like back when I was like, you know, 18, 19, 20, like they're at right now. And there's, you know, other friends who are even, you know, above where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? They bought their own house, they're moving out of the city and stuff. So everyone has their own destined path, and that's also how I feel too. Me, I want to be an artist, you know what I'm saying? That's non-negotiable, you feel me? I don't really have much artists or creatives as friends. I have good friends, they're good people, they even, you know, probably give advice here and there and stuff, but it's like they don't truly contribute to what I got going on. It doesn't mean that they're a leech, it doesn't mean that they're useless or anything, it doesn't mean any of that, but it's just like I need to be around more like-minded people. If not, I kind of would rather be alone. And I know people see things through their level of perception, so, you know, people can find that as a diss. It's not a diss by any means necessary. I've always been a lone wolf growing up. I mean, I never really necessarily had a lot of help growing up. I haven't had a lot of guidance growing up. Like, even if you talk to me and you think I'm very smart and wise, like, it was pain. It was things not going my way. It was me having to figure out things, being strategic, being in certain scenarios where I didn't know how to get out, but I had to, you know, like a survival, you know, fight or flight instinct. And these trials had led me to figure out solutions to life. And now I guess I'm just at a point where I realize I need to do what I know is right for me to get to where I need to be. If I become a success, it's because of me. If I become a failure in life, it's because of me. I can't put that on nobody else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just think about it in a retrospective of like you're in the future, or you see your future self, or you can envision what your future self does. You don't want a version of yourself where you just be like, oh, I didn't get this because I was too busy hanging around with my friends, going to the club, spending money, hanging out, going to places, we just wasting time. You don't want to ever be in a position like that, man. So you might as well change it right now, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us, most typical men, want to be in their prime by 25. 25 is when we see ourselves at our best selves, more or less. Great in shape, in some type of good work field, probably doing what you love if you're creative, or just making good money, you know what I'm saying? And you got to think about what that is and how you can do it. And even if you don't know at the given moment right now, do research. Look at people who you're inspired by. Look at their journey. Look at their process. Look at podcasts and stuff. And do what's necessary right now. Right now, a lot of y'all might be young, so this is perfect. Do what's necessary. Do the research, because I feel like every move I make from this point forward will determine the trajectory of my life. I don't want this year to be like last year. So a lot of people who try to call me on a weekly basis and I don't reach out and stuff, it's not like I don't mess with you. It's just like I know what I want in life. And there's a lot, especially as an artist and a creative and as a YouTuber, there's so much time I had to put into myself, my craft, planning out my days, scheduling it so I can stay consistent, so I can stay on the ball, so I can, you know, be entertaining and, you know, do everything to make all this work. And I don't want to be in a position where I put that blame onto you. I remember one time one of my coworkers, he was like in his like 50s, whatever. He was telling me, he was like, yo, like throughout life, like I felt like I just played it too safe. And I was like, what you mean? He's like, you know, just really looking back at it, you know, me growing up, looking at everyone else growing up and stuff, I realized I just played it too safe, you know, working these 9-to-5 jobs, going to school and stuff. Like I really should have taken a risk. And looking back at it, if I took a risk, even at like 20s and 30s, it wouldn't have been as bad as he thought it would deem to be. And that shit was another turning point as far as my testimony. Like, it's up to you to make the change. That's all I'm saying.
Ask me if you were someone I should have messed with. To be honest, I don't even know. I just go with the flow, keeping on my hopes. Don't regret what I did.